Welcome back, our dear viewers. With the escalation of crises and the increasing pressure on the environmental system and the growing global trend on economy which is more friendly for the environment and eco-friendly, more in harmony with the system, the green economy is actually gaining international momentum day after day at a time when Egypt has actually adopted a protective approach to achieve a balance between economic growth and sustainability of natural and environmental resources. To shed more light on that, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Engineer Mostafa Waly, former General Manager of the Federation of the Egyptian Industries and our economic expert. Good morning, Engineer Waly.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, can you elaborate on the government plans to expand on the green projects?
First of all, I was very impressed. I was following before getting into the direct talk with you, the history of our participation and our cooperation in this fantastic field, which we are now actually by the actual situation. We are considered as pioneer in this area, and this is a great future for our country and for our continent and maybe the humanity at large. That's very important because if you look at the figures and if you look at the situation and if you look specifically for the achievements from our side, you will find great, very, very great results and makes you very optimistic about the future of our country, inshallah. Now, when we talk about, you were talking about the green economy. That's really the best termination now. You know, it took a long time until the people believed that it is an economy and it could be a really progressive economy and the economy worth thinking of. I mean, being green or getting green. Because in the first place, if we look at it from the economic side, if you have any business or any activities where you can employ the people with their capacity, with their intelligence, with their talent in a new areas, relatively new areas, for example, and then you find the result is there on the ground, this is very, very promising because this brings us takes us, I mean, for centuries before, let's say decades before, when we started to discover the light and discover the radioactive, and this time we are discovering the nature in its most important element for us as human and as life. It's the energy. So this is my understanding for this issue, and I myself am personally very keen about the progress in this area.
Yes.
That's the understanding which we should work on it in awareness for our youth, for our people. And they should be taken care of. And thank God we had one of the most important international gathering and awareness sessions for 2 weeks in Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yes. Sir, many sessions also took place during the activities of the COP27, and many topics actually were discussed regarding the investment in the field of green energy and the green hydrogen and the usage of renewable energy. So how do you see all these gatherings and all these sessions and discussions regarding this very important topic, sir?
Frankly speaking, and without any exaggeration, because this is not me, these last 2 weeks, I mean these 2 weeks of gathering on that international level, and all the walks of life, people were there, you know, from head of state to people who are even, you know, claiming for the damage and the loss. It was there, the life and the future was the real future of the nature of our Mother Earth, because everything was tackled there, all the obstacles were tackled there, all the prospects were tackled, all the pros and cons were there too. So it means that everybody was in touch directly with all what he has in mind concerning, for example, if we look at it, is it really is it really a crisis? Is it really that the earth and our environment is threatened to the level that a lot of, look, they say it, a lot of big areas in the shores, in the seas, in the oceans will disappear. Is it true? Some people would say no, but it's true, and it will going to be true if we leave it like that. And if we leave it even, we fix it. I mean, not we, I mean the science proves it, that we can't get more than 1.5 Celsius degree. Otherwise, we will not be in control after a few years, soon to come.
Yes.
I mean, this will be 2050 maximum.
Indeed.
So, I mean,
yes.
in this case, everybody was there. What was there discussed, actually, it was to the best of all. The only thing is that the agreements, the binding agreements, which I myself was really hoping for it before the meeting, before this COP27, I was talking about it and writing about it, is that to commit, and especially those who are responsible, the most responsible for the polluting. Let's take the right word. It is polluting to the level of danger. They have to pay, they have to care, because they are part of it at the end. And I think lately, as you know, maybe, of course, even U.S. was always reluctant to get any commitment when it comes to damage and compensation. And I think this will develop.
Yes.
So in general, all the topics discussed here, coming from the technical to the broad political to the broad diplomatic to whatever, it was really it was okay. But the only thing is that how to follow and how to fulfill any obligations were really signed by such important people, such responsible people.
Yes. Engineer Waly, from your point of view, what are some of the types of the projects that may support the economic growth that we are expecting to witness? Yes, sir?
So I couldn't hear you the last thing.
Yes. What are some types of projects that we can be implementing in order to support the economic growth?
To support the economic growth, and you mean green economy? Or
yes, what? Yes.
Well, okay. The most important thing is that, okay, any practice, any attitude, any activity on the ground which is polluting, we have at least to start minimizing it, to work seriously to eliminate it. Nothing can be done overnight, but this is very important, because this will make the job easier for us, because as I told you, if we will raise more than 1.5 Celsius, then nothing will be controlled. That's what the science says, not me, not the science itself. And the calculations, scientific calculation with the best brains in the world. It proved it. So that's number one. At least to start from here, to keep in mind always, let's minimize. So if on the globe at large, all countries, especially those who are responsible for the most polluting reason, or they are the source of the pollution, the main pollution, the industrialized countries, by the way, to make it simple, from China to USA to Europe, and that's it. That's the main. And in this case, if we start and then together, we try to compensate and try to initiate a green energy, which now showed and proved to be feasible, and by time and by development and by exploration, it will be even economically when it comes to the cost of erection. Look at from the solar wind, from solar to wind, even to concentrated sun thermal. That's what we call thermal. By time, because of course a lot of equipment is needed, a lot of technology is there. By time, the cost will be affordable. Then the impact of the cost will be less by time. If we get together. And we have some proofs.
Yes.
This is number one. By the way, number one. Yes, please. But the most important, we start like that.
Yes. As you've kindly mentioned now that the usage of fossil fuel is it's really alarming for the whole nations around the globe. So we are more towards using the renewable energy here. And indeed, Egypt did invest a lot in that domain.
Yes.
So what's your take on that, and what's more should be done, as we are expecting to see a real huge investment in the field of windmills as well as the solar energy. So how do you see that, Engineer Waly?
Well, right now the facts on the ground prove that, at least now the figures even prove it, that we are number one in the MENA area when it comes to generating green energy.
Indeed.
Actually, whether it's solar or wind. And that in itself is a very good start for us if we will have a big start again. We need to have a big start. I mean, we have to double our efforts so that we can cover more areas in along our country or across our countries for renewable energy system. And I think we can fare well, and we can do well actually in both the solar, of course, and the wind. Maybe both together can be also added to them the hydrogen, green hydrogen, especially green hydrogen, because we have this solar and wind, then we can have green hydrogen. Because if you, in order to say that you have green hydrogen, then you must produce it, or you manufacture it, produce it, or get to it through green energy, because it needs energy to have the hydrogen, green hydrogen.
Yes.
So in this case, we can have the priority. We can be ranked number one in all Africa and some other places too. That is very important.
Indeed. Engineer Mostafa Waly, former General Manager of the Federation of Egyptian Industries. Thank you so much, sir, for your very precious input. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And our dear viewers, I would leave you now with the second segment of our show today with my dear colleague Amal Mukhtar. So stay tuned.